Hey, good morning. Welcome to Tuesday, Election Day. Pretty amazing day for us to voice our opinions about where the country needs to go and what needs to happen. And I wanted to pop on here today because last night I had probably one of my most memorable experiences ever. We did a book launch party virtually, happy hour for about 3 hours. And I am waking up this morning with just an incredibly overwhelming sense of gratitude for everybody that participated last night. The event was amazing. It was super. It was super humbling in a lot of ways. I got to be honest with you because I got to hear from people that we had invited on to be guests about what the Ripple has meant to them and some of the work that we've maybe all done together. And it's just unbelievable to know that this little book, this little concept I had 15 years ago has touched so many lives, and I'm so grateful. And I just wanted to pop on here this morning today to say thank you. I know in today's world right now, there's a lot of divisiveness. There is a lot of unrest. And I know that there is a lot of challenges that are ahead, regardless of what happens with today's election. But I want to remember and remind people that, no matter what happens, we have to come together and we have to find a way to work together. We have to be more open. We have to be willing to extend the hand or the elbow, if you will, and be willing to put aside our differences so that we can work towards the common good. And last night was a perfect example of how people from all different walks of life kind of came together and just celebrated the fact that no matter where our differences are, where we may have come from, our backgrounds, our industry, our different approaches to how we live or work, there are certain things that bond us together. And I think that this concept of the ripple effect has even more applicability today, which is why we brought out the third edition. But I wanted to come on and personally thank Mark Schwartz for being my co-host and my co-pilot on this book over the last 15 years. He has just been an amazing supporter of everything I do. And quite honestly, has been there when I had major self-doubt about whether anybody would care what I had to say or whether anybody would benefit at all from my written word. And he was there encouraging me all along and making it making it possible for me to be able to, continue down this journey. And I just want to say, Mark, thank you so much for being a part of that. I also want to say thank you to a few other folks. I want to say Cynthia Berg, thank you so much for being a part of this. Your openness and honesty last night was amazing. I got several side messages about it. People are anxious to learn more about what you're up to and what you're doing, and they just appreciated your sincerity. And it was just such an absolute honor to have you on last night. Liz Hanlon, what can I say, Liz? Go Cubs! I mean, you're always awesome. You always make me smile every single time we have a conversation because you don't pull punches. You are who you are because you know that there's heavy lifting to be done, and people have to face those fears and get that heavy lifting done if they want to accomplish anything in life. And so you coming on board, spending a little bit of time with us, meant so much to me because you're just such an amazing person. I'm blessed that you're in my life. Jennifer Garcia, Hookem, you never cease to amaze every single time that you are in front of me. You just light up any room that you're on, even virtually. And your words last night meant so much to me about everything that you're doing. I'm going to send you that George Strait song because I think you'll love it when you hear it. But just your positivity and just you being you, people really responded to that last night, and I wanted to say thank you for that. I'm going in order, so I'm looking at our list of folks that were on there last night. I had so many that wanted to participate. It was really overwhelming and just so humbling that I've got so many cool Ripplers in my life. Earl Hager, we may not have the same taste in football teams, or baseball teams for that matter. But you have always been a great supporter of mine. You have always been there to lend a strong level of confidence when I needed it, or to point out certain things that I might want to think about or investigate a little bit more. You are a great sounding board and a fantastic entrepreneur, and I'm so grateful for your friendship. Thank you so much for participating last night. Carlin Haas, the shoe enthusiast, educator, aware, or extraordinaire, I should say. You've been one of my best friends forever, and you are and continue to be the consummate exemplar of a Rippler, because you have such a kind heart and you go out of your way to make sure that people feel included, and you just make the world a better place by being in it. And so I was so grateful. I know that Mark had promised you 2 hours, so we're obviously going to have to do that again at some point. And I will certainly extend that time. And you're right, you definitely deserved a lot more time because you're awesome. And we will definitely rectify that on the next one. Aruna, all I can say is you were magic last night. You and you and I've already texted this morning, but you coming on board, I know that's outside your comfort zone. It's not exactly what you love to do, but you show up to participate and be there for me, which it blows me away, and I appreciate it on every level. But the growth that I've seen in you over the last several years is just simply amazing. You are absolutely an entrepreneur. You are absolutely destined to do amazing, great things in this world. Never doubt yourself. And if you do begin to doubt yourself, you call me the minute you start to doubt yourself, because I'll get you right back on the right track, because you are on the path that you were destined to be on. And don't ever doubt that for a minute. You're amazing. The world needs more of what you bring to the table. And I'm so grateful that you are a friend and supporter. Shelly, I'm sorry that you were having some technology problems last night, but we are going to do this again, and I'm going to get you on. But I wanted to still thank you for trying. I'm sorry that in real time there were some challenges going on, but you were definitely missed, and we will look forward to getting you on to the next one for sure. Jennifer, oh my gosh, Jennifer Vasquez, in from Nashville, or was calling in or live streaming in from Nashville, initially has gone through some challenges over the last little bit of time. Wasn't sure she wanted to do it. And then she, as she said last night, she wanted to show up for me, which just totally warmed the coggles of my heart, let me tell you. But then to hear what you had to say, and then for you to actually play the song last night on the guitar was just amazing. I can't thank you enough for showing up and being a part of my life, being a part of this amazing journey. I can't wait until we can finally meet up in Nashville and I can give you a proper hug and tell you thank you. But I know there was a whole lot of vulnerability last night, and I want to just say that I recognize and saw that for what it was, and I appreciate you being there so much. And that song just played in my head all night. And if you guys don't know Jennifer Vasquez, please look her up on YouTube, look her up on social. She's an amazing musician. She has a fantastic album. You absolutely need to check her out. She's incredible. But Jennifer, thank you for being there for me. I really, really appreciate it. You are incredible. These last guys, for those of you that weren't on the live stream, you'll be able to go back and watch some of the, you get to watch the whole replay of the 3 hours if you choose to. But one of the highlights, personal highlights for me, was to have my son, Zach, on there. Zach's about to be 22 years old, and he couldn't make me more proud as a dad. His confidence and his strength and his way of conquering the world. I get emotional if I say too much more. Let's just say I'm a very, very proud dad, very lucky to have him, not only because it's a father-son relationship, but he's one of my best friends and one of my biggest supporters. And I love you, man. I just love you so much. And I am so proud of everything you're doing. Graduating college in December, 6 months ahead of when he should, already planning out what's next for his future. But if you go back and watch any of last night's live stream, you'll see what an amazing young man he is, and how blessed we are. We'll have to get Josh, my other son, on one of these live streams the next time so you guys can meet him as well. But I'm just blessed beyond measure to have two kids like that. And thank God they got their mom's intelligence and maybe just a little bit of my rippleness, a lot of my rippleness. But you guys are better ripplers than I am. But thanks so much for being on there, Zach. I really appreciate it. And then we brought on the Hanisch boys, Joe and Matthew, father-son duo that the ironic aspect of this is that Zach met Matthew when he was first at his orientation for college. They've become great friends. They are big supporters of one another, and they actually have their own podcast. I'm going to probably butcher it. Not Roommates is what I think it's called. Hope I got that right, boys. It's a great podcast, but Matthew and his family have been so welcoming to Zach, him being so far away from home, and they've made him one of his own, and they have included him in so much, and they are truly family. And thanks to Matthew, I met his dad, Joe, who is just one of the most, salt of the earth guys that you could ever possibly meet. He's humble, he's kind. He can put back an enormous amount of beer, which, is always a good thing when you're around me. No, but we have a great time talking about life and our personal philosophies and our admiration for various sports and athletes. And he and I have just become fast friends, and it wouldn't have been possible had the ripple of connection happened and started with Matthew and Zachary. So to have the three of them on to close up the live stream last night was absolutely amazing. And so I just want to say thank you to everybody. You guys, there really aren't words to adequately express everything that I want to say today, right now, how much I appreciate everything that was said last night, everything that we did and accomplished together. I felt like we really, really, if anybody goes back to watch that live stream, you'll hear what the Ripple can do for you. For me personally, having written the book and shared that experience with Mark Schwartz for now 3 times, right? This is the 3rd edition. Every single time it is bigger and better in terms of what we see the impact as. And last night was just a glimpse into what the difference it can make in people's lives. And to hear some of that firsthand, you hear it or kind of sense it on the peripheral, but to actually hear people show up and authentically share their concept and their approach to the Ripple was amazing. And it was, it made me proud. It made me very happy that I chose to do this. It made me very humble that I have so many great people in my life. And there are so many of you out there that may see this on Facebook that you're like, hey, what about me? Why didn't you call me? I have an endless stream of amazing people in my life. And that's what the Ripple has brought to me, is the ability to connect and engage with people that are doing things that, I shouldn't even be lucky enough to know you. And, but I am, and I'm grateful for that. And we will do more. And if you're interested in participating and sharing your story about what the Ripple has meant to you, I would love to hear from you. Definitely drop me a DM, send me a message at Twitter, or send me an email, steve@ripplecentral.com, and we'll definitely do another one of these again. I just want to say thank you. I had to pop on here as I drove in this morning. I couldn't stop smiling. It was such an amazing evening. I encourage you, if you didn't see it, go back. It's a long time, but you're going to pick something up from every single one of those people. So maybe come back to it in chunks, but you will pick up amazing tidbits from Ripplers that are doing much bigger work than I could ever possibly hope to do. And they're just some of the most amazing people that you could ever possibly cross paths with. And hopefully you do at some point. So anyway, that is what I wanted to share this morning. And I wanted to say thank you. I want to encourage everybody, regardless of what goes on today or beyond, that at the end of the day, we're all one community. We need to come back together. We need to be willing to open our hearts and our minds, our ears and our eyes, and find a way to start to put this thing back together in a way that makes sense and is in a positive direction for, this country and for the world. And regardless of your party affiliation, I don't get into politics, but I will say that it's time to set aside those politics and the divisiveness and start, shouldering up as much as you can on a physically appropriate distanced status that we're on right now, and get to work fixing a lot of the things that need to be resolved and fixed in this country. And that starts now. Cast your stone, create your ripple, and go ripple on. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and participating. At least those that showed up last night, those that might watch the replay, thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you so much for being a part of my life. And we'll speak again soon. Ripple on.